Hopefully when you wake up in the morning, you say to yourself, when I get to school, I'm going to make my life a little better in a few years. Yes? Let's go through the do it, and then we'll let you go to bed. Okay? All right, so write the equation of the line passing through. And we don't give you a graph here. We've said before that the best way to do this, if it works out nicely, is to graph the 2 points, find the y-intercept and the slope by looking at the graph. But my initial impression here is I'm not so sure how that's going to work. I think it's going to go through the middle of 2 points. So let's start with y equals mx plus b. When I was growing up in my house, if I heard the phrase Robert Carl Lindquist Jr., it meant I was about to be hit. Okay? I don't know if you have a particular phrase in your house. Particularly the guys. Most girls don't get hit. Do you get smacked around a little bit? No. I hit my sister once.
You told me.
Yeah.
But we have time.
Well, no, that was at dinner. There was another time where she said the F word to my mother. I remember I was sitting in a room right next to her, and she told my mother that, and I politely stood up out of my chair, walked into the room, smacked her in the head, said, "You're never going to talk to mom like that again." I walked back, sat down, and kept doing my homework. So that was another really good feeling. But anyway, y equals mx plus b. As soon as you write the equation of a line, just like I knew if my father or my mother looked at me and said, "Robert Carl Lindquist Jr.," I knew the hit was coming. I was ducking because I knew I was about to get nailed. If I write the equation of a line, automatically y equals mx plus b. Now I need to find the slope and I need to find the y-intercept. So let's go through and find the slope. That's pretty easy to do. You could do rise over run, you could plot the points, but you figured out already. I kind of like this formula. I'll call that point 2 and that point 1. So I'm going to get 1 minus 3 over 4 minus negative 1. So that's going to be negative 2 over 5. So my slope is negative 2/5. So y equals negative 2/5 x plus b. All right? Everybody get that far? Good. Everybody get a slope of negative 2/5? Good. All right, so now we got to go back and get b. And this is the sticking point, okay? This is the first part of that. I think everybody can do that. I don't think that's difficult. And I've graded these for now 30 years. And I will see that everybody gets to this point. Not everybody gets to the next point. You have to remember to insert an x and a y. Now, I can use either one, but I'm going to go with, I'm actually going to choose the first one here because when I do the negative times the negative, I get a positive. You could do the second one. It doesn't really make a difference. You're going to get the same answer either way. So remember, any point is x, y. So the y is 3. So over here, I'm going to put a 3. So 3 equals negative 2/5 times negative 1 plus b, which is 3 equals, anything times 1 is itself, and the negative times the negative is a positive. So I get 2/5 plus b. Now I'm going to subtract 2/5. Now if you can't stand fractions, you have a calculator, so life is not so hard. And I get 2 and 3/5. Okay? So b works out to be 2 and 3/5. I did a lot pretty quickly there. I'm going to slow down for a second. Does anybody have any question about what I just did? Right? I substitute in the x and the y, and then I just solve the equation for b. Okay? So now, finally, I go back and I put it all together. Y equals negative 2/5 x. I knew that beforehand, but then I have to add in 2 and 3/5 for my y-intercept, for my b. Okay? Now, that is definitely the kind of thing that's coming on a future quiz. So you want to know how to do that. And it's a pretty challenging question. It's not impossible, but it's pretty challenging. All right? Do we have any questions on this? Leanne, are you upset that you're covering your face with this? Or you're good? All right, nicely done. All right, so now let's go to the next question. And the next question is really what today's lesson is all about. Graphing simultaneous equations, which means to graph 2 equations at the same time. So the first one is in y equals mx plus b form already. So I really want to get into that one right away. The slope is 2. What's the y-intercept? 4. Good. So I begin at 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I go up 2 over 1, up 2 over 1. Then I'm going to go on the back side here. And remember what I said the other day. This is extremely important. We don't want to give away points. So let's make sure that I write the equation and a line on it. Y equals 2x plus 4. Okay? Now, the next one says x equals y minus 5. So what's the problem with this one? Go ahead.
It doesn't equal y equals ms plus b.
Yeah, it's not in y equals mx plus b form. Now, by the way, is there a difference between these two things? And,
No.
no, it's the same exact thing. So I'm just gonna add 5 here. And I get x plus 5 equals y. I don't care if it says y equals or equals y, it's the same thing, right? A little quicker that way. If you did it the other way, you did multiple steps. But I think it's a little quicker. What's the slope here? What's the slope, everybody? 1. And what's the y-intercept? 5. So I go up to 5, and I plot my point, and then I go up 1 over 1. Let's see here. Oh, this is strange. You see, the red line's a little off. It's going to look like it lands there, but it really doesn't.
You said negative.
Okay?
Add 5 to that.
Yeah, because you got to get the y all by itself. So this is going to cross at the point 1, 6. Does everybody see that? That's the point of intersection, 1, 6. Now, Mr. Frank is one of my best friends in the world. He is a really phenomenal man. I know he's not always the most scintillating math teacher on the face of the earth,
He's monitoring.
okay? But he's a great human being. He has a fantastic family, and he's also a heck of a math teacher. So the thing of it is, we all know that he teaches how to check a whole lot better than I do. So we just want to take a second and we want to check this answer in both equations. So the first equation is y equals 2x plus 4. The second equation is x equals y minus 5. And I'm just going to plug in 1, 6. So does 6 equal 2 times 1 plus 4? You bet it does. 6 equals 6, check. And then on the other side, does does 1 equal 6 minus 5? 1 equals 1, check. Okay? So we're good all the way around. Any questions on this? Cool. Let's go to the next one. Okay, you got another old Regents exam question. Let's get started on it. I'll give you about 2 minutes to get this done, and then I will do the question. The only bad part about this one is that they don't give you, whatchamacallit? They don't give you anything in y equals form, so you gotta play with both of them. Notice it says solve graphically. That means using a graph and not algebra. Later in the year, you learn how to do it algebraically. Yeah.
So for the y-intercept, I got it doesn't fit.
You got what? You should get a y-intercept that fits. That's the mistake you've been making on the quiz. When you do that division, you gotta divide everything, including the number that's by itself.
It wasn't.
Yeah.
Can I go now?
Yeah. Now, if after the division it didn't fit, then yes, change the scale, but you should have
No,
divided.
it's not the division one.
It's the first one, it doesn't fit. You get negative
You
9.
get a negative 9.
It doesn't fit
Oh,
on the scale.
why didn't I change this to 8? 9 fits. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Negative 9.
It's not negative 9.
Wow.
Oh, did I copy this wrong? I copied it wrong. Okay.
Wait, that's not good. Why didn't you just
I copied it wrong. You know what?
wait?
How low does it go?
Wait,
Just make up just go a little below it, that's all.
why didn't you
It goes to 6.
Yeah, just go a little bit below it.
Wait.
Okay, what?
Just like kind of extend the graph. Oh, man. I'm glad that, you caught that before I actually copied the whole.
So I did.
You're welcome. So, let's start with the red line over here. I already did all the work, I assume you did it as well. The slope works out to be 2, the y-intercept's -9. Now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then I'm gonna go up 2 over 1, 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 up 2 over 1. Trying to draw that as straight as I can. Ba-da. And write the equation of that line on there. Always write the original equation. After you start manipulating an equation, they're called derived equations. You never want to write the derived name. You want to write the original name. Okay, next up. I come out with y equals -2x plus 5. Did you all get that too? Right? Are there any issues with that?
I got positive.
No, because you're going to subtract the 6x and then you're going to divide by 3. You see that? Okay? So the slope is -2, the y-intercept's 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, down 2 over 1. Okay, I'm never liking it when we cross in the middle there, but we gotta do what we gotta do. 6x plus 3y equals 15. So it looks to me, and I'm gonna be right here because everything is 2's and halves. This is gonna be the point 1, 2, 3, 3.5, comma, -1.5, which occasionally does happen, but not usually. Okay, hasta la vista, vaya con Dios, toodaloo, ta-ta. Arrivederci, smile a lot, ciao, arrivederci, adios amigos y amigas, cheerio, ta-ta.
Michelle Johnson, room 205, Michelle Johnson, room 205.
Show tomorrow.